And so flash
Hmm.
forward again to COVID. I had led a small group my first year of college, my sophomore year. I had led a small group. COVID hits, everything blows up and goes crazy. And there is a situation. I think the Lord just like blurred my mind from it, and I'm so grateful that He did. But there's a situation where like just some of my sin had come forward, and people have like seen what I was trying to hide for many years, and it was actually like right here in the spot, like that I had felt for the first time in my life the lack of God's presence. And I remember being
Wow.
like, this is it. Like, I feel like for the entirety of my life, I'd been under my parents' covering. And at this specific moment, it was like during COVID, like right before it was about to hit, that, yeah, that like the lack of God's presence, like God's presence had been taken from me. And it was to this day, probably one of the lowest places I'd ever been in my life. I'd never struggled with depression. I'd never struggled with anxiety, never struggled with stuff like that, really. And in this moment, I remember being like, if I don't call somebody, like, I will not survive the night. I was very upset. I was like, it's such a waste. And as I'm turning around to go home, storming off, the Lord stops me.
Mm.
And it's like, Charity, you are like this water fountain. Like, you are promising this outward appearance, but inside you are lacking water.